A young woman stood in her mother's doorway, blood dripping from her split lip, her 3-year-old son clutching her wrapper. Mama, please, just let me stay here for tonight. He said he'll kill me if I come back. Her mother didn't move from the doorway. Then you should have been a better wife. But how did it come to this? How does a mother choose reputation over her daughter's life? Let's go back to the beginning, because this story about a woman who learned that survival means breaking the chains others call tradition started 2 years before that terrible night. Once upon a time, in a bustling city where old customs wrestled with new ways, there lived a 28-year-old woman named Adaize. Everyone called her Ada. She worked as a junior accountant at a small firm, lived in a modest flat she shared with 2 other girls, and dreamed of one day opening her own business. Her life wasn't perfect, but it was hers. Her mother, Mama Neoma, saw things differently. Ada, you are 28 years old, her mother said one Sunday afternoon, her voice sharp as broken glass. All your mates are married with children. What are you waiting for? Do you want to die alone? Ada fed, stirring her tea slowly. Mama, I'm building something. My career, my savings. Marriage will come when it comes. Career? Her mother laughed bitterly. What career will warm your bed at night? What career will give you respect in this community? Mama Neoma had been widowed for 5 years. Since Ada's father died, her mother had become obsessed with one thing: seeing Ada married to a man of status, a man who would restore honor to their family name. Then one day, Mama Neoma came home beaming. Ada, I found him, the perfect man. His name was Chief Okonkwo. He was 51 years old, a wealthy importer with 2 houses, 3 cars, and a reputation in their church as a generous man. He had been married before. His first wife had left him years ago, though no one spoke of why. When Ada first met him at a church social, he smiled at her like a man appraising goods at the market. You are beautiful, he said, not looking at her face. Well-shaped, good hips. You'll give me strong sons. Ada's stomach turned. I'm not interested in marriage right now, sir, but thank you. Chief Okonkwo's smile didn't waver. Your mother and I have already discussed it. We'll do the introduction next month. That night, Ada confronted her mother. Mama, I don't love him. I barely know him. Love? Her mother scoffed. Love is what happens after marriage, not before. Chief Okonkwo is a respected man. He has money. He goes to church. What more do you want? I want to choose for myself. Mama Neoma's face hardened. You think you are wise because you went to university? You think you know better than me? I'm your mother. I carried you for 9 months. I suffered to raise you. The least you can do is respect my wishes. Ada felt the walls closing in. Mama, he's old enough to be my father. He makes me uncomfortable. Uncomfortable? Her mother's voice rose. You want to be comfortable? Look around you, Ada. Look at this house. Look at how we struggle. A woman alone in this world has no protection. Marriage is your shield. Chief Okonkwo is your opportunity. But Mama, enough. The introduction is in 3 weeks. You will attend. You will smile. You will say yes. Or you can pack your things and find somewhere else to live. Ada stared at her mother, heart pounding. She had nowhere else to go. 3 weeks later, the introduction ceremony took place. Ada wore a borrowed coral beads and forced herself to smile as Chief Okonkwo's family presented yam and palm wine. The elders prayed. Her mother beamed with pride. Ada felt like she was watching her own funeral. The wedding followed quickly. Chief Okonkwo didn't believe in long engagements. He said, a wife belongs in her husband's house, not running around the streets. On their wedding night, Ada sat on the edge of the bed in Chief Okonkwo's massive house in Lekki, her hands trembling. He entered the room, already unbuttoning his shirt. I have rules, he said, without greeting. You will learn them quickly if you are smart. Ada looked up. Rules? First, you don't leave this house without my permission. Second, you don't keep money. If you need anything, you ask me. Third, you obey me in all things. A Christian home has order.
A Christian home has order.
The head.
The man is the head.
Woman
the woman submits.
Do you understand? Ada's throat tightened.
You resign tomorrow.
I I still have my job. I need to. You'll resign tomorrow, he interrupted, his voice calm but final. My wife doesn't work. It's shameful. What will people say? That I can't provide for my own household? But Chief, I've worked hard for that position. His hand shot out and gripped her jaw. Not hard enough to bruise, but hard enough to silence her. Let me be clear, Ada. You are Mrs. Okonkwo now. You do what I say when I say it. If you embarrass me, there will be consequences. Do you understand? She nodded, tears burning her eyes. He released her and smiled as though nothing had happened. Good. Now get ready for bed. If you've ever felt trapped by someone else's expectations, hit the like button. Let's walk through this story together. The next morning, Ada submitted her resignation letter via email, citing personal reasons. Her boss called, concerned. Her colleagues messaged, confused. She told them all the same lie. My husband and I decided it's best for the family. Chief Okonkwo monitored her phone. He checked her call logs, read her messages, controlled her every movement. A good wife has nothing to hide, he said. Weeks turned into months. Ada learned to walk quietly, speak softly, keep her head down. She cooked elaborate meals, cleaned the massive house, and waited for Chief Okonkwo to come home each evening with her heart in her throat, never knowing what mood he'd be in. One afternoon, she burned the rice. It was a small thing. The pot had boiled over while she was scrubbing the bathroom. When Chief Okonkwo came home and saw it, his face darkened. What is this? I'm sorry, I was cleaning and You were cleaning? His voice was dangerously quiet. So you can clean the bathroom, but you can't watch a pot of rice? It was an accident. I'll make more. He backhanded her across the face. Ada stumbled backward, her cheek exploding in pain. She'd never been hit before, not once in her entire life. Chief Okonkwo grabbed her by the hair, dragging her toward the kitchen. You think food grows on trees? You think I work hard so you can waste it? He shoved her to the floor. Clean this up and don't let it happen again. He walked away as if nothing had happened, whistling. Ada knelt on the kitchen floor, shaking, her face throbbing, and cleaned up the burnt rice with tears streaming down her face. That night, she called her mother. Mama, she whispered, her voice breaking. He hit me. A long silence followed. What did you do? Ada's breath caught. What did I... Mama, I burned the rice by accident. He hit me in the face. Ada, her mother's voice was tired.
Marriage is not
easy.
Every woman suffers
Every woman suffers small. You think I didn't suffer with your father? You think he never raised his hand? Mama, this isn't small. Listen to me. You are a married woman now. You have a position to protect. If you leave Chief Okonkwo over something like this, what will people say? They will say you are proud. They will say you don't know how to be a wife. No other man will want you. I don't care what people say, Mama. I'm scared. Then stop burning his food, her mother said sharply. Be a better wife. Obey him, respect him, and he will respect you. She hung up. Ada sat in the dark, alone, and realized the truth. No one was coming to save her. 6 months into the marriage, Ada discovered she was pregnant. Chief Okonkwo was overjoyed.
Finally,
he said,
son to carry
finally.
my name.
He placed his hand on her still flat stomach. A son to carry my name. It might be a girl, Ada said softly. His expression hardened. It will be a son. Pray for a son, Ada, for your own sake. The pregnancy was difficult. Chief Okonkwo did not allow her to see a doctor regularly, saying it was a waste of money. Our mothers gave birth in the village without all this hospital nonsense. You will be fine. But Ada was not fine. She bled. She fainted. She begged to go to the hospital. Finally, when she collapsed in the bathroom, he took her. It was a boy. Chief Okonkwo named him Chukwuemeka without asking Ada's opinion. God has done well, he said, holding the baby briefly before handing him back. Now, you will stay home and raise him properly. No more complaining. But the abuse did not stop after Emeka was born. It got worse. Chief Okonkwo drank more. He came home late, smelling of beer and perfume that wasn't Ada's. When she asked where he'd been, he beat her. You question me? He slammed her against the wall. You dare question me in my own house? One night, when Emeka was 2 years old, Chief Okonkwo came home drunk and angry. Ada had put Emeka to bed early because the boy was feverish. She was heating water for his bath when Chief Okonkwo stormed in. Where is my food? I'm sorry, Chief. Emeka is sick. I was just about to. He grabbed the pot of hot water and threw it across the room. It shattered against the wall. I don't care if the boy is dying. When I come home, my food is ready. Do you understand? Emeka started crying in the bedroom. Chief Okonkwo's eyes narrowed. Shut that child up. He's scared. Chief Okonkwo strode into the bedroom. Ada heard Emeka scream. She ran after him and found Chief Okonkwo standing over the toddler, belt in hand. No! Ada threw herself between them. He's just a baby.
I'll teach you.
The belt came down on her back instead. Once, twice, 3 times. The leather bit through her thin nightgown, splitting skin. Ada did not scream. She covered Emeka's body with her own and endured it. When Chief Okonkwo finally stopped, breathing hard, he looked down at her with disgust. You are making him weak, just like you. He left the room. Ada gathered Emeka in her arms, both of them shaking, both of them crying, and she made a decision. She couldn't stay.
Comment below if you've ever had to choose between survival and what others call duty. You're not alone. But living wasn't simple. Chief Okonkwo controlled everything. The money, the house, even her identity documents. He had taken her passport, her bank cards, everything. Ada began to plan in secret. She started saving coins from the market money he gave her. 5 naira here, 10 naira there. She hid it in a hole she'd carved into the bottom of Emeka's diaper bag. She befriended the gateman, a kind older man named Suleiman, who looked at her with pity but never asked questions. Madam, if you ever need anything, he said quietly one morning, I will help you. She memorized the bus routes. She noted which days Chief Okonkwo came home latest. She prepared. And then, one night, Chief Okonkwo beat her so badly she couldn't stand. It started over something small again. She had bought the wrong brand of butter. He punched her in the stomach, kicked her ribs, slammed her head against the kitchen counter. Useless woman, he spat. I should have married someone with sense. This time, Suleiman heard the screams. He called the neighbors. They called an ambulance. Ada woke up in the hospital 3 days later. Her mother was sitting beside the bed, but her face wasn't soft. It was hard. Do you see what you've caused? Mama Nelma hissed. Now the whole community is talking. They're saying you provoked him, that you don't respect your husband. Ada stared at her mother through swollen eyes. He almost killed me, Mama. Then you shouldn't have made him angry. Something inside Ada broke. Not her spirit, her fear. I'm leaving him. Don't be foolish. I am leaving him, Mama. And if you won't help me, I'll do it alone. Mama Nelma stood, her face cold. If you leave that house, don't come to mine. You are a married woman. Your place is with your husband. She walked out. Ada lay in that hospital bed, bruised and broken, and did the math in her head. She had saved 8,000 naira, enough for transport and maybe 2 weeks of food. Suleiman had promised to unlock the gate. Chief Okonkwo was traveling to Port Harcourt for business in 3 days. She had a window, a small one. If this story is giving you chills, smash that subscribe button. We're just getting to the part where everything changes. On the night Chief Okonkwo left, Ada moved quickly. She packed one bag, Emeka's clothes, her documents, the hidden money, and a photo from her wedding day to remind her of what she was running away from. At 11 p.m., Suleiman unlocked the gate. "Go well, madam," he whispered. "Don't come back." Ada nodded, holding Emeka close. The boy was asleep, unaware his life was about to change. She walked into the Lagos night with nothing but hope and terror. But she had nowhere to go. Her mother had made it clear she wasn't welcome. Ada stood at a bus stop shaking, Emeka heavy in her arms, and she prayed. Just then, a voice called out, "Ada? Ada, is that you?" She turned. It wasn't Ngozi, a girl she'd worked with at her old farm, someone she hadn't spoken to in over a year. "Ngozi," Ada's voice cracked. Ngozi took one look at Ada's face, her bruised arms, the terrified child, and understood immediately. "Come," Ngozi said, taking her bag. "You're coming home with me. Don't argue." And just like that, Ada wasn't alone anymore. Ngozi lived in a small flat in Surulere with her younger sister. It wasn't much, but it was safe. "You can stay as long as you need," Ngozi said, making up the couch with blankets. "My sister and I will help you figure this out." For the first time in 2 years, Ada slept without fear. But 3 days later, Chief Okonkwo returned. When he found the house empty, he went to Mama Neoma's compound, raging. "Where is my wife? Where is my son?" Mama Neoma genuinely didn't know. "She didn't come here, Chief, I swear it." "Then find her. She's stolen my child. I'll have her arrested for kidnapping." And he meant it. Chief Okonkwo went to the police station and filed a report. He had money, influence, connections. Within 2 days, officers were searching for Ada. Ngozi found out through a cousin who worked at the station. "Ada, he's looking for you. He's telling them you kidnapped Emeka. You need to act fast." Ada's heart pounded. She had escaped the house, but not his reach. "What do I do?" "You need a lawyer. You need to file for protection, and you need to do it before he finds you." But lawyers cost money Ada didn't have. That's when Ngozi made a call. "I know someone, a woman lawyer who takes pro bono cases. Her name is Barrister Adana. She specializes in domestic violence." Barrister Adana met with Ada the next day in a small office in Yaba. She was a woman in her 40s, sharp-eyed, no nonsense. She listened to Ada's story without interrupting. When Ada finished, Barrister Adana leaned forward. "Ada, what Chief Okonkwo did to you is criminal assault. You didn't kidnap your son, you protected him. But we need to move fast. He has resources. He will try to use the system against you." "What do I do?" "We file for a restraining order. We get you into a shelter, we document your injuries, we gather witnesses, and then we take him to court." Ada nodded, hand shaking. "Will it work?" Barrister Adana didn't sugarcoat it. "It will be hard. He will fight dirty, but if you are willing to fight back, we have a chance." Ada looked at Emeka, who was playing with a toy car on the floor, oblivious to the war being waged over his future. "I'm willing." The legal battle took months. Chief Okonkwo hired expensive lawyers. He called Ada a liar, a thief, an unfit mother. He brought witnesses from church who swore Ada was difficult, disobedient, mentally unstable. He even convinced Mama Neoma to testify against her own daughter. Ada sat in court and listened to her mother say, "My daughter has always been stubborn. She doesn't respect authority. She provoked Chief Okonkwo. I told her to be a better wife." Ada's heart shattered. But Barrister Adana was relentless. She presented hospital records showing Ada's injuries. She brought Suleiman, the gateman, who testified to the screaming he'd heard, the violence he'd witnessed. She brought in Ngozi, who testified to Ada's condition when she'd found her that night. And she brought photos, bruises, scars, split lips. The judge, a woman in her 50s, studied the evidence carefully. Finally, she spoke. "Chief Okonkwo, you are a respected man in your community, but respect does not give you the right to brutalize your wife. The evidence presented here is overwhelming. Mrs. Adaize Okonkwo is granted a restraining order. You are not to contact her or approach her under any circumstances.
As for custody of the child, temporary custody is granted to the mother pending further hearings. Chief Okonkwo's face turned purple with rage. This is nonsense. That woman is my wife. That child is my son. The judge's gavel came down. Order. Chief Okonkwo, if you continue this behavior, you will be held in contempt. Ada exhaled for the first time in months. She had won. Not everything, but enough. After the hearing, Ada walked out of the courthouse holding Emeka's hand. Her mother was waiting outside. Mama Neona's face was drawn, tired. Ada, she said quietly. Ada stopped, bracing herself for another lecture. But instead, her mother's voice cracked. I was wrong. Ada stared. I chose my pride over your safety. I chose what people would say over your life. I told myself I was protecting you, but I was only protecting myself. Tears ran down Mama Nelma's face. When I sat in that courtroom and heard what he did to you, heard it out loud, I realized I sent you into a lion's den and called it marriage. She reached for Ada's hand. Can you forgive me? Ada looked at her mother. She saw the fear, the shame, the regret. She thought about holding grudges, about cutting ties, but she also thought about cycles, about breaking them. Mama, Ada said softly, forgiveness will take time, but I'm willing to try. Mama Neoma sobbed and pulled her daughter into an embrace. For the first time in 2 years, Ada let herself be held. 2 years later, Ada had rebuilt her life. She lived in a modest flat in Ikeja with Emeka, now 4 years old and thriving. She worked as an accountant again, this time at a firm that valued her. She attended therapy, she joined a support group for survivors of domestic violence, and she started something new, a foundation called Ada's Voice, which helped women living abusive marriages find legal aid, shelter, and support. Chief Okonkwo never stopped trying to regain control. He filed countersuits, spread rumors, threatened, but Ada had learned something powerful. His voice no longer controlled her. One evening, as she tucked Emeka into bed, he looked up at her with wide eyes. Mama, are we safe now? Ada kissed his forehead. Yes, my love, we're safe and we're free. As she turned off the light, she whispered a prayer her grandmother used to say. A woman who knows her worth cannot be sold for less. The story of Ada, the daughter who chose herself, spread through the community. Some called her brave, others called her rebellious. But the women who had suffered in silence, they called her hope. And slowly, one by one, they began to find their own voices. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Tell us in the comments, what's one thing you've learned about choosing yourself? And before you go, subscribe so you never miss a story that reminds us what it means to survive, to fight, and to be free. Until next time, keep breaking the chains. Your courage is someone else's permission.